Let me show you around my loft and introduce you to the inspiring clients who generously gave me permission to share with you the process of converting their rooms of doom into ace spaces. Let's start with my loft, and if you think you're about to see a perfect exemplar of a professional organiser's loft, think again. So let's start here. Here we have a brand new toilet seat and cover. Can't quite remember how I ended up with that. It's to do with when I did the bathroom up, which is years ago, but it's never been used. That is, so there's quite a lot of empty boxes from things I've bought, and some of them I keep. So if it's a big ticket item and there's any chance that it might need to go back to the shop, so you know, if it's within warranty and it needs to be returned, I keep the box for that reason, since I have got space. Okay, this is, oh, that's kind of traveling, camping-y kind of stuff. Oh gosh, that's craft stuff from crafts that I haven't done in bazillions of years. What have we got here? That's my the top of my shredder, which I don't use anymore because I burn confidential waste, but I don't think I'll be getting rid of it. You got various bits and pieces. That's kind of dressing up stuff. That's spare bits of shelving. So there's kind of other bits up here that are kind of parts of the house that, you know, in case I ever need to replace anything. Bits of shelving. There's spindles down there for the stair rails. Oh, those are spare bits for my bed. So probably sensible to keep. Boxes. Oh, see, I don't even know what that is. That's some kind of extension flex. When I declutter the loft, I will examine what that is. Yeah, bits of the house, really. Can you see over there? Can you see the luggage? Just see if you can see my hand. Yeah, so that's my suitcases. That's my kind of roughly my luggage corner, suitcases and rucksacks and things like that. There's a box of camping stuff here. This is computer boxes. There's a memento box down there, like a memory box. There's some empty boxes over there, which is just because they can be useful. This is my camping mat, my sleeping mat, which you're supposed to store inflated like this, so it's quite handy that I can store it up here completely inflated. There's a bag of rags. So next time so what I do with rags, I put them in a bag when I just go to the charity shop, and I let it build up, and then when I declutter that area of the loft, I take it to the charity shop. So that'll be going when I do the declutter. Over here you can see these masses of cardboard. Now the reason for keeping that is because I have a wormery, and I put cardboard in the wormery. It helps, it's composting, you know, it helps it all to break down nicely and not get too wet. So it's quite useful. There's quite a lot of it, but it's not doing any harm up there, so I'll probably keep it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is move the camera, move the phone. These are Christmas decorations, Christmassy things. This is decorating materials. Can you see that? Yeah. That's all my spare paints and everything, very well sealed, labelled, so I know which room they relate to, etc. Under there is some boxes that I'm storing for a friend, because I've got the space and she hasn't. This is a similar kind of recycling thing. I recycle plastics, but I need to have, I think it's at least 3 of these bags full before they'll do a pickup. And I've only got 2 so far. So every time I get enough, then I can get them recycled. But in the meantime, they live in the loft. Here is all my CDs and records, because I finally got around to getting rid of my stereo and some years ago and replacing it with a Bluetooth speaker. So now I haven't even got him to play these things on, but I couldn't quite bring myself to part with them, so I bunged them in the loft, and they are really going to have to go. And can I just say, it was not a good place to put records because of the temperature change in the loft. I think they're all right. I checked on them recently, but I really need to sell them, so that's going to be part of the task. And that is a water butt, which I got off Freegal, because my water butt doesn't have a proper lid. It's got a kind of made up lid, so that it's covered, but it's not a proper lid. So I got it off Freegal thinking, well, it might be a good idea. And now I can't remember, that was years ago. And for some reason, I've never had it installed, probably because it would be quite an expensive job to get the plumber to do. I can't actually remember. I think I did speak about it with the plumber, but I can't remember the ins and outs of that. So what needs to happen there is I need to speak to the plumber again and decide whether or not I'm going to use that. And if I'm not going to use it, I really need to get it back, get rid of it, put it back on Freegal, which is a nightmare because we had to take the loft ladder off to get it out of the hatch. Don't acquire things unless you're definitely going to use them. So I think that is pretty much the contents of my loft. I'm here with Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. Hi.
2 Rachels. And we are going to declutter Rachel's shed today. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Great. I'm really looking forward to it.
Tell me about your shed.
Well, it came with the house, and I've been at the house now for 20 years, and I think there's probably stuff in there that actually I don't even know that's there from when I first moved in. I've certainly added to that over the years, and I just think it's a shame because I've got this lovely space outside and I'm not using it. and it would be really, really good to be able to put furniture in, which I don't put in, and things get, you know, tired, which probably could be, you know, looked after a lot better if they were in the shed. So yes, I'm looking forward to creating a whole new area to put things in.
So you used to keep stuff in it, but it's got out of hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know what's in there, and I don't even look in there anymore. It's actually got to the point where the door stays shut.
Oh, perfect. Yes, that's perfect for a decluttering session. It's not actually a massive shed. We'll go and have a look at it in a second. We're going to be well togged up. We're going to have our gloves on and good sensible shoes. And should we go out and have a look at the shed?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
This is Linda. Linda, why don't you tell us why we're clearing your loft?
Okay. We're leaving to live in our camper van and travel around Europe, and we need to rent the house out, but we need to get rid of the stuff in order to rent the house out, and it's very full of stuff. A lack of decision making has meant that we've just thrown it up here.
So you were going to keep this loft empty, weren't
We were
you?
going to keep it empty. In fact, when we first did this loft, we'd sit up here with friends and everyone thought it was just a great room. It was lovely. And now it's a complete mess. Looks like a hoarder's paradise.
And it's not just the loft, is it? You've got to get the whole house going. You've got a
That's
week
right.
to do it in.
Yeah.
So in a week, the first storage container needs to be filled and for stuff to go into storage.
Yeah,
And then the painters are coming to decorate the house so that it can be rented out.
yeah.
So I'm here to help Linda work on the loft and also other areas of the house. This is Alex, and Alex has kindly agreed to let me show you his garage as part of the course. Thank you so much, Alex.
No, it's my pleasure, and I'm sure it's going to be great fun.
I hope so. We're not actually going to declutter Alex's garage as part of the course, but I wanted to show it to you because it's a good example of the kind of situations that arise with garages and some of the challenges that people face when decluttering them. So Alex, tell me, how do you tend to use your garage?
Well, primarily it's a workshop, but it's also a storage space, and everything in the house comes here, and it's sort of like a limbo space. Things just come here and never leave.
So it's a place to keep stuff.
Yeah.
So stuff that might be a bit grubby and you don't want to keep in the house?
Yeah, everything you put in your attic is now in my garage. So.
Oh, right, okay, so is there stuff in your attic?
No, the attic's actually empty.
Okay, so the attic's clear, that's good. But it's meant to be a workshop.
Yes, but there's no space to actually work in the shop. Anymore.
Okay, so it's kind of got a dual purpose. It's like storage for grubby things. Well, maybe three purposes. It's like storage for grubby things. It's a bit of a limbo. Stuff comes in here if it's not really sure how long you're going to keep it for, etc.
Yeah.
But primarily, it's meant to be a workshop.
Yeah.
And that purpose is getting undermined by the other two now.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's really interesting.
Huh.
Let's kind of go round the garage and look individually at different items. Where do you want to start?
Let's start in the foreground.
Yeah, let's start with the stuff that's taking up quite a lot of the foreground of the picture. I don't know if you can see. What is this, Alex?
Well, this is insulated board. It's put in walls to keep firmly insulated in the walls. It's going to go, but it's not gone yet. So
Okay.
I'm just storing it for a friend.
So you think you found this abandoned,
Yeah.
and you knew your friend would be able to use it.
Yes.
So you've housed it.
Yes.
Does your friend know?
No, he knows it's coming to him, but I don't have a big enough vehicle to give it to him yet.
Okay.
So
So is there a like? Do you know how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen?
I'm looking to get it done by the end of this summer, but there's a good chance it's not going to happen for another couple of months at least.
Right.
So,
But it'll happen in a couple of months.
hopefully,
so it's not
yes.
taken up residence.
No,
it's just here
no.
a bit longer than you hoped it would.
Well, yeah, this is the storage. This is the yes, exactly what you said. But I mean, it's not just this. There's a couple other things that it'll be a lot tidier when I get the van to move it. All this stuff will move.
Okay, great. Okay, let's move on. What else have we got in here?
Going around, a nice ladder. My access equipment's here. Also this stuff here behind me. All this is again a gift. It's underlay. It's polythene sheets that have also been reclaimed. That's going in the van. So all
So
this
actually,
stuff.
what these are, what I always say to on my videos, what I'm always teaching people is that all clutter is one of two things. It's either an unfinished task or it's a deferred decision, something you've got to make a decision about. So these are incomplete tasks. They need to be delivered to your friend, but that hasn't happened yet.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So whereas the ladder,
That stays. Yeah.
that lives here and it's a good place to store it and that's working.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
At the back we've got a nice shelving array with all these pots of paint. And from what it was here when I moved in.
Got the shelves.
And the paint.
Oh, and the paint.
So all the paint correlates to the paint that's in the house. I've not decorated. luckily the paint pots correlate to the rooms.
And are
So-
they all well sealed and you know they're in good condition?
I have no idea, I haven't
Yeah,
checked,
check
so
them.
they could be destroyed, but they still
Okay.
live here because I haven't got around to taking them. I
So
just tried
actually,
to-
there's a deferred or an incomplete task there, or even a deferred decision.
Yeah.
So they would be worth, in order to make some space, checking those paints, make sure that they're actually worth keeping and they haven't all gone hard inside. And it might be that some of them go well for proper disposal,
Yeah.
and you make a bit of space.
That would be good, yeah.
Okay, great. What else
Yeah.
have we got?
Well, we've got a really tasty toilet seat.
Oh, I've got one of them.
Yeah, no, this one's been used, but I didn't want to get rid of it because it's such good quality.
Always
but-
good to have a spare toilet seat.
Well, yes, but how long do you want to keep a toilet seat? And then moving around, I've got sort of gardening stuff here, pots and tools and things. So this is the workbench. It's full of stored equipment at the moment. Most of this is it ties in with my skills, my job. So it's stuff I can reuse. But again, there's no space to store it because storage space taken.
So that's a really perfect example. So this is your workbench here,
Yes.
but you can't use your workbench
Because
at the
it's
moment
busy,
because it's
yeah.
got stuff on it,
Yeah.
and there's nowhere else to put the stuff. So actually, what we were saying about the paints,
Yes.
should you go through the paint? I mean, hopefully, of course, they're all in good condition. But if you go through them and they're not, and you're able to make some space on those shelves, you could move some of the stuff off here,
Into it, yeah.
and your workbench would be available.
Oh, yeah.
Great, yeah.
So it's all there. This is a filing cabinet, obviously for storing stuff in. Again, it's full of junk.
What sort of junk? Like paper junk or other junk?
I can go through it. Let's see.
Other
This seems
junk.
to be electrical junk. This is bits and bobs. But they're in bits. That's the drawer for the bits and bobs. I know where they are. This one's books and diaries and work-related documents that I need to keep for 7 years.
Okay.
And at the bottom, that's bird feed. So.
And you can't get into that because what's this?
That's wood that's going to
You
go to
can
my.
see that. You can't see it, but
No.
in front of the bottom drawer of the filing cabinet is a crate of bits of timber.
Yeah.
And so what's the story with that?
Again, that's a gift for somebody that's not left yet.
Okay.
So there's some wood that's going to go to a bonfire somewhere, but it's not gone.
And how long do you think? How long has it been there?
It's been there for 2 or 3 weeks.
Not very long.
But I could have gone straight there, but I deferred it and put it in the storage.
So how long do you think that's like to end up staying there, realistically?
Good one. Probably. Well, I'm going to try and no longer than a week. I'm trying to say.
Okay, well that's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, and in the corner I've just got my gardening tools, all nicely. I know exactly where for this. It's all nice and tidy. So that's an example of my gardening stuff.
So how do you feel about it overall? How do you feel when you think about your garage, Alex?
Well, I feel good because I've only got one point of storage, because my attic is clear. But I also feel bad because it's so rammed with stuff I can't actually use it
Okay.
for a workshop.
Yeah.
So
And how long have you lived here?
a bit over a year. So,
Okay.
so-
You've been here for about just over a year.
and when I moved in, it was empty.
Yeah. Okay. Well, apart from the paints that you inherited.
Apart from the paints I inherited.
Yeah. It's a good workshop, but it's got to the point that you can't use it as a workshop. Do you feel that it's going to stay stuck there, or are you confident that in a reasonably near future, the foreseeable future, you're going to move this board on, you're going to move this timber on, and you'll get it so you can use it like a workshop again?
I'm feeling confident in the next 6 months, hopefully, this gifting stuff will be gone. I'll have more space to swing a cat if I had a cat. And I'll have a nice workshop space. I'm saying 6 months because that's my target.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant.
And if I don't do that, then it will take years to clear the space. You know?
I mean, like, the other thing that I'm noticing is that I think you're very aware of what the situation is. So it's going to happen sometimes with the storage space that sometimes you end up a bit like, oh, it's all got a bit out of hand. But it's not like you can't get back on top of it. It seems to me that, okay, it's got rather a lot of stuff in it at the moment, but it's a temporary situation,
Yes.
and you'll have it back to a workshop
Yes.
in the foreseeable future. Thank you so much for showing us your garage, Alex.
No problem actually. With a little bit of tidying up, it would actually be a functional space again.
It really would. I think that's the thing to take away from here. You know, it's not crazy cluttered in there. Like you say, a little bit of decluttering and you'll have that work surface back and a really functional workshop.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
No problem, thank you.
This is Liz, and we are going to declutter Liz's shed. Thank you so much for doing this with us, Liz.
That's right, thanks for coming.
So tell me about your shed. How long since you looked in it?
Well, I look in it twice a day.
Oh, do you?
because,
You use it?
Yeah, because I use it a lot for the animals, my rescue animals. So yeah, but it hasn't. I used to do a declutter like every 6 months, but I haven't done one since last year,
Okay.
and it's got a bit
out of control.
Okay. So do you think most of the stuff in there just needs reorganising, or are we going to get rid of quite a lot of it? What do you reckon?
I think there is a lot of reorganising. There is some stuff I want to get rid of, and I am very excited about being able to get to the back of my shed, which has been a long time since I could.
So before today, how have you felt about the thought of decluttering the shed? Has it been overwhelming, or have you been okay about it, just haven't got round to it?
I just haven't got round to it, but it has become more overwhelming as more and more stuff has
Makes sense.
gone in there. Ta-da.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit heaped up. Not very functional, is it?
No, I
Okay.
want to be able to get the tools that were at the back of the shed that I wanted to use, but couldn't face taking out all the stuff to get to them.
Yeah, I mean that's going to take a fair bit of work to get to the back, isn't
Yeah.
it? So things in there are not very accessible at the moment. And do you want to clean it out after we've got
Yeah,
everything out
definitely. I need to sweep it all down, and yeah, it shouldn't take too long once everything's out.
of it? But the cleaning materials are in there, right? So we haven't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brushes and things are all in there.
Aren't those guys fabulous? As we go through the course, you'll see how they put into practice the hints and tips I'm going to share with you, and you'll be amazed at what they achieved.